Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to finish the final little heart. If you remember, we've been putting together these three little scrappy hearts for Honey Bear's dress, and I put the base down for the next little heart. So today I want to have a little play, and I had cut out this little morsel, so I just wanted to, I guess, see what comes of it all and piece it together somewhat more. What I'm thinking is I'm going to break this down even more to the three little flowers here. I just want a little bit of space between them, and that way I can pop in amongst it other little elements is what I'm thinking. So we'll start with this little cluster. I don't mind these three. So just fussy cutting them out some more. And that will sort of set the tone for it. I also found these when I was getting my beads back out. I found these. I don't know where I got them from, and it sort of picks up the gold. So I thought about working one of those little guys in just to add a little bit of texture, but I don't know yet. So what I might do is just cut this little guy out. It's only a tiny heart. I had the luxury of a little bit more space on the other two, so that might really dictate just how far I go with this. And I dug out the cotton that I used on this edge, and I thought maybe I could do some bits and pieces with that as well. I feel like I need to separate this. I might as well just separate them all. I've totally destroyed the little motif, but that's okay. Rid of that gold guy for a moment. Let's just get, I like it with a little bit of, lost the flower, a little bit of air between it. Just allows for beads and bits and pieces. I'll cut out another little one. So how have you all been? Are you busy stitching today, or is it getting ready for a day and you're just watching me with your breakfast? Or are you heading to bed and you're using my monotones to put you to sleep, which I must admit I tend to do? There's just some YouTube channels that just literally send me to sleep, not in a bad way. It's just I get so relaxed and I'm listening to them chat, and before I know it, I'm asleep. So I do save them for that exact purpose, just to help me to unwind, and it's usually a craft that I don't do a lot of, so I don't feel like I need to be watching, you know what I mean? I was watching an interview with, oh gosh, now is Matthew McConaughey. Matthew, you know the word. And he must have some sleep tapes. Yeah, I like that better. Little cluster. If that's how it was on the fabric and I could have just left it, well, so be it. But, yeah, Matthew must have recorded his voice. He's got that real smoky sort of sounding voice, that actor. And I think he was on the Jimmy Kimmel show, or some show was interviewing him, and said they literally listen to him every night and he puts them to sleep. And I thought, yeah, that's me and some YouTube voices. So it must be a common thing. You can listen to someone and they'll send you to sleep. I know years ago I bought an Audible file, and it's the one and only I've ever bought, and I still have not got past the first paragraph. And it's a book I've always wanted to read and I've never had time. It's a Bryce Courtenay book. I think it's called The Power of One. Oh, is that right? It's the story that's set in South Africa. And whoever's reading it, I don't think it's Bryce Courtenay. This is years ago when that was all the big trend, these Audible books first hit the market. And I thought, oh, I'll get Power of One. It must have been their top seller at the time. And I was like, I've never read that. So I get it. I've got it onto my iPad at the time. And I start playing it and I can hear this South African voice straight away talking, and I was quite intrigued because that's not a common sound for me. Anyway, within 15 minutes I'm getting sleepy and that was it. I was out like a light. I thought, well, that was a waste of money. And then a little bit time went by, so I thought I'll try it again. Same thing. I've tried it so many times, I cannot get past the first paragraph. I need to actually do it sitting up in a chair, not lying down with my head on a pillow, because I hear that beautiful South African accent. And the story of this little boy, and I think it starts in an orphanage. And that's it, I'm out. Out like a light. It's terrible, but very predictable. I'm doing it now with YouTubers. Don't know if I like that. It's probably because I haven't got a center in yet. Is this guy going to feature? No. No. I don't know where I want to go. Do I want to look for another lace? Do I really want to bring in another lace? I feel like I might need some fibers. And then I'm thinking fibers, I'm thinking this fabric. It's like a bit from a crocheted tablecloth, and I just love that loose, knottiness to it. Maybe this is going to be more neutral. Probably should have put this down before I started, but no, I think I'm going to go this side, the bottom of the heart, and just sort of meander that through there. Yeah, I like that. So we're getting really textured on this bottom side. Let's just stitch it down. Why not? Nothing that can't be unpicked. So yeah, I'm not good with Audible books. Well, the one and only I've ever tried. So I could just see Matthew McConaughey, or, oh gosh, I hate that surname. I don't hate it, but it tricks me up. I hear him say it and I'm like, oh yeah, well, that's not hard. It's just one of those words. But that voice of his, it's pretty distinctive. Oh, I like that. Don't know where I'm heading with this, but anyway, it's just about layering down some textures. Now I might try getting my beads in. I think I'm feeling very flat. I think I might start with our little sequin. I think once I get that shimmer in there, it'll feel a little bit more like I'm heading somewhere with it. Yeah, that's better. And then I need, maybe we try a different pearl. Is that too big of a pearl for that little sequin? Maybe. As long as it's the same ingredients, but just a different version. I don't want to start heading off on new tangents. Oh, it is a bit big, isn't it? It overpowers the sequin, and at a glance, I don't think you'd notice there was a sequin. I think what we might do is just leave that for a moment. Let's get back into these. Pop a few there. And we'll stitch that down. And I'm thinking, what am I thinking? Nothing much. Don't know why I said morning. I'm so used to doing videos of a morning. It's actually just after lunch. And I feel like I need a nap. Just a quick little nap. I think that's what my husband's doing. It's like we had some lunch and just feel like lazing and going back to bed. No, it's all good. Once I start stitching, that'll get me thinking. I think what I'm doing is I'm keeping this top side of the heart very plain, and I'm concentrating all of my bits and bobs into that thickness on that other side. So it'll become quite dense. I already had a bead out, so I don't know why I was doing that. I was pleased to see that a lot of you have been making little scrappy hearts, even not to put on your piece, just because you felt like it. It's a great way of clearing bits and pieces from your desk too. Now I'm just going to put some random little beads in around, just to start softening up that edge. That's it. Now we might get some of these little gold guys. And some of those. Okay. Yep. I wanted a gold one, and I picked up the calico coloured one. Might zoom in. I don't think you guys can really see what's going on there, but if I come a fraction closer, just got to be careful that I don't lift my hand too high, because it makes the iPad fuzzy in and fuzzy out. Someone did say they're doing an update to stop that, but I haven't seen it yet. Something to do with the camera. Certainly not anything we can control. Okay, just a simple bead in that one. Do 2 stitches because he's wobbly. Okay, might do a loaded flower for the next one. We'll call them loaded flowers. Get my sequin. Look how messy my mat is. Just bits of fabric, threads. Oh gosh, I went to the shops, I think it was yesterday, and I had a black cardigan on, and it's just got threads all over it from being in amongst my world of stitching. So then I jumped in the car, driven to the shops, pick up a few things, and I bump into a neighbour who takes one look at me and starts picking threads off of me in the middle of Woolworths. Have you been stitching, Corrine? I can always tell you're covered in bits. It's so funny. And the longer we sat and, well, we weren't sitting, the longer we stood in front of the butter section picking threads off of me, I'm sure the cleaners will be like, what? Was someone sewing here? It was so funny. It's like my standard uniform now. Threads, little threads hanging off of me. Yeah, that's good. I like that. So we're just meandering down the side, building. Oh, you're not even on camera. Telling my story, and I've changed my position of my arms. I put a little gold bead in that one. Or it may not hold it. That's only little. Yeah, I don't think it will. Ow. Okay, I might pop a big pearl in next. Just meander this way a little bit. I'm still not sure where I'm going to put them on her little dress, to be honest. I had them lying on her dress in a few different spots, but I don't think I'm going to make a decision yet. Like the panel, the fabric prompt, it's just pinned there. So I think I'll just pin these as well, and then as we sort of build our stories, we can then adjust them. They're not sort of set in stone. So yeah, that's how I'm proceeding at the moment. I think I need another one in here. I might do the flower again, the loaded flower. And then little bead in the center. Okay, that's looking good. Now, I had visions of doing some little embroidered lazy daisy stitches or some French knots or just something a little bit different. Yeah, I like that. I like how we got a clean line here and it's just all interesting and messy on the other side. Might just put a couple more of these little beads in. They're laying there. Oh, no, I'm not. That bead is a bit of an abnormally sized one and it's not going through. Come on, pick up. Oh, it's only having one bead. Okay, let's finish our little cluster off. Lovely. Now let's have a play with that embroidery cotton. Because it appears on that other heart, I wouldn't mind drifting a little bit over onto this heart. It'll sort of make it look like it was meant to be and not just a random thing. So I thought, need a needle that will actually work. I thought about doing maybe lazy daisies. Why have I not got a needle that actually can have stranded cotton in it? I've gone quiet. I'm concentrating on threading a needle. You know how it is. Okay. So, what cute thing could we do? I'm thinking, let's just start with a lazy daisy. I think it needs to be quite loose. Oh, I like the idea of the little strand sitting up, to be honest. A series of little loops around the place. It's soft. Maybe I don't know where I'm heading with this, guys. Hang in there. I'm going to stitch them down because I think on the dress they'd look messy real quick. Maybe if it was going into a journal, then I'd be gamer to let them flop around. But being it's on a little dress with flowing fabric, it's got a bit tight. Let's just loosen that up a little bit. That's it. Let's scoot down here and pop one in. I like it. Just something a bit lacy. Just can't pull it too tight because I want that open feel. And I like the two little threads. It's given it a nice little effect as well, a nice loose. It's like I've got some fibrous-y sort of, you know, this is very fibery down here, and I sort of feel like I've achieved a similar result up here with this loose lazy daisy stitch. You could just keep adding to these things. Seriously, it's like, where do you stop? They're just so much fun. There's no rules, just play. Yeah, I like that. A little guy shooting out of here. Just brings that lovely. Might see, can I get another one down that bottom? Don't really want to creep too far down into that zone because it's like sort of going into an area that I don't want that look. But I feel like we could do with one more. Yeah, that's good. Just fiddle with that a little bit. There we go. Yep, just a hint. That's actually not secure. Hang on. Let's just back it up a bit, girl. You're heading off and you haven't secured that little stitch. That's better. Okay. That's good. There we go. Aren't you just the cutest little heart? Just a nice little detail to help build the story. I didn't need that one in the end. Okay, so let's get the lids on this before we have an accident. Pick up me little bits and pieces. All right, move that. All right, let's zoom up a little bit because I'm going to bring her little dress back over here. We'll have a little look. Come on, honey. That's it. Make some space for Honey Bear's dress. Move everything out of the way that's going to flip, roll and make a hang of a mess. Needles away before they disappear into Honey Bear's dress. What a mess. Nothing like stitching. There's our little love hearts. Let's have a little look. See where we could put them. So, got our little bird thing. We've got our pocket. Gosh, she's still got treasures in there. I actually thought about them going along the bottom of her skirt. And then I'm like, well, do we cluster them together? Then I thought, come up to her bodice. What are we going to do on a bodice? There'll be a little bee go there. Do we pop them up here? Oh, that's cute. Oh, I don't mind that. I guess once the bee arrives too, that might set the tone. Or the other idea was to go to that side seam away from the pocket and we start drifting. There was one that looked very plain. Yeah, that one there needs a bit of background. And I thought, well, why don't we start coming around the side here? And then I thought, well, we could have a piece of fabric for them to sit on. But I don't know. I don't know. Just looked across to that. No. Oh, I'm just leaning across my desk. So it's all too neutral, isn't it? I feel like we need, just looking through the fabrics, I feel like we need something for them to sit on that makes them really, yeah, see, we need a contrast. We need a little morsel of something for them to be potentially sitting on. This is not going to rip. That just would be, let's try. Oh yeah. So we need to roughy it up a bit, rough it up. See, now that's starting some new scraps for us because we were getting a bit low. It's not very rough, it's very fine linen. Not linen, cotton. And it's very hard to get a nice roughed up edge, but that's better. So we can have a patch go on her dress and the little hearts start congregating in that zone. And then we could do some stitching around it. You know, we can do all sorts. So I might pin that just as an idea. No. I feel like I need to do something more decorative. I don't know. That's a new fabric I haven't played with. Let's just grab a little bit, see what comes of it. I'm really drawn to that, but I'm not ready to do something with it. I'm sort of, I guess, skirting around. Sort of feel like I could place a few random things, but nothing set in stone. We are not stitching. We are not doing anything at the moment. We're just fiddling. Drift it onto there. No. You watch, I'll tear this down to the point where it's nothing. It'll just be this random piece of fabric. Trying to keep it random. loose and random. I don't know what I'm trying to achieve, to be honest. Ticking. What have I got in the way of ticking? I was trying to make a pile of ticking that would be on my desk for random grabs, but no, there's no ticking that's of that colour. What about some, oh, there's some. I think this is part of Tim Holtz fabric. It's just like clustering random bits. I know it seems odd, but it'll all come together in the end. They tell us. You're probably thinking, I know what you mean. I'm not even sure if that seam and location is where I want to be, but I've got to, I reckon maybe I'll come up to that pocket. I feel like I need to connect it. Maybe this little dangly bit of lace can come across. I don't know. Let's just keep rummaging and see what else we can find. I do like this stripe. There is a spot in here as well, a big spot. Is he the right thing? There's a little chocolate spot. Yeah, it's too big, isn't he? Let's just get a little bit of... oh, I know. The words treasured something were on the other piece. Hang on there, guys. Here she goes. She's my favourite things. That has been pinned to the mannequin piece. And I think it should go to Honey Bear's piece. I just feel like we could do with some words on Honey Bear's little dress. Maybe to put that there. And she's got a little hearts. Maybe we'll pop a few spots. Playful and whimsical for young Honey Bear. Don't want to be too serious. Bears aren't serious. Let's cut a few spots out for her. Very crooked. We don't want her looking down at her little dress and saying, that's very crooked. Maybe you pull that out from under there. Nope, don't like that. She's got spots and flowers and bits and pieces. Let's fold that up. I think I'm quite confident that I could stitch something as a background together for the hearts to go onto. But I need to stay in that sort of space. So let's just pull that out of there. Let's take like something along the lines of this, but within the confines of that space. So let's get ourselves a little bit of stabilizing fabric or calico. Let's get all of our elements here. And let's rip down this background. So that way, if I decide to do some stitching, I've got my background at least stabilized. Okay. Clear the deck so we can just see it for what it is. So what my theory would be is to do some running stitch through and then arrange my little heart. So it's like a patch on her little dress. and then using some bits and bobs, build up a decorative little cluster that can then just be added to her little dress. So that's what I'm thinking. But, you know, nothing's set in stone. It's just randomness. Just looking up at the camera. I think what I'm going to do first is get the background done. So, first of all, some invisible stitches. And I think it's going to be handy having elements. I know I've said this already, but if you're unsure, just create elements and then piece a few things on and then come back to it. You can change it. It's pinned. So I'm just going to pop some little invisible stitches on this. I could use these lines to do my running stitch. Gee, that'd make a nice change, wouldn't it? How straight would I be then? Good one. You see what I did? I started thinking about what I was going to do and not concentrate on what I should be doing. Now I might just head over here and just jump around a little bit. I could pin it, but I don't really want the pins in my way, so I'm just going to do some quick invisible stitches. I'm aiming for all those little white creamy little taupey coloured dots to hide my stitch. That is not going anywhere. Yep, I might just jump across the bottom edge. Can't hurt, I've got the thread left. It'll hold it. Okay. I've given myself a nice little project to stitch. There we go. Now do we use that for a bit of a contrast? That would be interesting. What other things have we got? That's a wool, but that's green. Gee, my eyesight must have been a bit off that day. Oh, that'd be interesting. That would pick up that without using this. Mind you, I'm not sure how well that will go pulling through that tight fabric. It might really... It's these types of wools by the looks of it. So it's a DMC tapestry, fine tapestry. Don't know where I got that from. Let me just have a play with this and we'll see. Maybe 2 threads. We'll keep it fine. Okay, needle. Oh, I had 2 threads already left over from the Lazy Daisy. just don't know. Let me just do a little bit of the running stitch and we'll see what it looks like. If we don't like it, doesn't matter. We can try something else. There we go. I don't know if it's going to compete with the hearts. Maybe I just want to do a running stitch around the perimeter instead of all over. Like a patch. So if that then went across there. Yeah, I think so. I think the running stitch is going to destroy the little spot, which I'm attracted to. I think the darkness of this thread, yes, I like how it ties into the little loops that are within that one little heart. So I like that. I've got it back into the mix. So, change of plans. We're going to just do a bit of a running stitch around the perimeter so it'll look like a patch. It's like a frame, I guess, for the hearts to sit in. Does that make sense? Patchwork. Oh, I don't know if it makes sense. I'm just going with it. Let's see what happens. We're exploring, aren't we? That's it. And that should get me there. Down we go. How are we going for time? Gosh, I just lose track of time. I could just spend hours doing this type of stuff. What stops me is I get a sore neck, sore back, sore eyes. My body fails me. I could go for hours mentally, but my body says, all right, that's enough. You've been here long enough. I just need that to thread. Oops. Oh, there's a piece of crocheted edge that has been rattling around. Oh, I think it's in her pocket. Maybe I've got an opportunity to put that on my piece. It's a treasure. And I think Honey Bear actually has it in her pocket because she too thinks it's a treasure. Right, finish that off. I just need a little bit more to come across that edge, but I won't bore you with that. We'll leave it. I can always do that off camera to complete the piece. I just want to see if I can find that little morsel. Honey Bear, where's your dress? In her pocket. She has been squirreling bits. What's she got here? Let's just... Has she got the bit I thought she had? Maybe she hasn't. See, I'm thinking... Yeah, this is it, but I must have a little bit floating around in a bucket here. That's what made me think of it. Yeah, here, this. Is that the same? No. Crocheted edge. See, Honey Bear, she is on the same way. Oh, look, see, we got a doily too. That's so going to look gorgeous on her dress. And then these pieces just all piece in with it. And the hearts and, oh, can't wait till the end. Pop them back in a pocket. She does have this. I'm not sure what she's thinking with that. But anyway, we'll let it in a pocket. This, I thought maybe we could add that as part of our collage. I'd love to find a home for it. I've been snipping away at it, and it's the last piece. I don't know. Let's get that out of the way. Gosh, you could fiddle. My favourite things. And some of her favourite fabrics. I don't know. It's funny. I could do 20 different versions of this, and then there'll be just one that goes, that's it. I don't know. I think, what's distracting about that? I think it's that edge. Maybe the hearts are distracting. I feel like I want to see that beautiful linen. Maybe I've got to come away from that square edge. Let my eyes and then nestle a heart in there. Nope. Sort of it's not right there. Then there's the old, do you cascade your hearts? Do you come out here and cascade them down? Get rid of that, that, and that. That's interesting. Just that. I'm looking at my TV screen as I do this because it sort of gives me more of a, gee, I like that, guys. Let's get that dress again. We'll pretend that that's the final decision. Let me just put this cotton back on here before it's lost. There's another piece of cotton here. Put it on the needle so that I can finish that edge. Better still, let's finish the edge. Oh, that needle, it's a nasty thing. It must be a bit rough in there, and it splits my thread. New needle. So what I'm going to do is, I know it's looking like that'll be covered, but I'm just going to finish this just for my own peace of mind. I know it's done. Maybe the word love needs to come into it. Oh, I really like my favourite things. I think that's going on Honey Bear's dress, more so than the wedding one, because it's all Honey Bear's favourite things. So it's just flipped from one project to another. Oh, I found a piece of fabric too that I sort of felt like fitted this. Been rummaging through a box of fabrics that I haven't looked at for a little while, and I thought they were all pastels. But I found, sort of reminds me of a twile. There is a piece of twile printed in this pack of fabric too that we must investigate further for Honey Bear. I do believe I pulled it out a week or so ago and said, ooh, all right, where's this random fabric? Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? What could we incorporate? So I love that. Are we heading off on another tangent? I think we are, but I think it needs to be used for something, but just love that. I don't know. Anyway, stay focused, girl. So I'm thinking that's going to go up the top there. Big hearts down to little hearts. I think this is what it is. It's simple. I feel like it's clean, and you know what it is? I think it's because there's so much going on with the hearts themselves that the moment I put other fabrics in behind it, it just becomes really busy. Let's get her little dress, and let's go to that side seam. Let's pin it, for goodness sakes. It's all going to fall to bits the moment I move it. Let's pin that to there. Just feel like I need to bring that heart down a little bit. It's going to look like a cascade of lovely little morsely hearts. Is that attached? That's good. We're mobile. And now let's bring her little dress over. And this little patch would just sit there on her little dress. I love it. Yeah, I think that's it. If I was to turn it and everything moved to this side, I would then have the lace leaning up against the pocket. Do we like that better? No, we don't. We're going to leave it like that. We might bring it right down to her hemline down here. So now this lace is part of that story. Yep. And maybe the fabrics work better over here away from it. I don't know. Don't mind that. So I'm going to pin that there. I'm going to pin that there. I suppose in her pocket she could have her favourite things. I'm going to pin that there. And we're just going to think about it. But I do like it. See, that's when we can start. Where's her doilies? We can start then exploring that doilies start coming into the piece. You know what I mean? It's just loose and it's just an idea, but so that's when we can start collaging other elements in, or portions of, or see, I even thought, you know, another day ago that I could collage some doilies on her little sleeves. Huge potential, young honey bear. Let's put your bits back in your pocket before they get mixed up and get stolen for other projects that belong to Mama Bear. So you can start fiddling. No, don't even mind that. It's very random, but we'll pin it. I'll just look at it for a week or so. I've now pinned her dress. So that's it. That's a good start. I think we've got love sorted for Honey. She's got a lovely little cluster of loveliness on her little dress. And I've saved some gorgeous crocheted edge. Don't know if it's grandma's, but I don't know. I've lost track of some of those edges. I like how there's a bit of a contrast there, and the fabric. Let me just come up a little bit so I can move a bit more freely and get this little dress more of a whole view. See, as it sort of scoots around, there's all sorts of yumminess happening, and that's before we build in everywhere. I'm sort of thinking it's going to be across the bottom edge. If I get up in amongst all this, my work's just going to disappear. So I'm thinking the whole edge, the bottom band of her dress is where all this loveliness is going to be. And once we sort of get along in our prompts, little pieces can be added, you know, just to build and thicken and create little stories within the stories. But that, to me, is looking good on the side. And I can still come in here with other things or words or whatever the prompts may be. Who knows? Yeah, I do like that. It feels like the little hearts have a reason to be there now, and they're sort of framed, if that makes sense. Okay, everyone. Yeah, that's the prompt, love for Honey Bear. That's before I could even write love somewhere. Oh, goodness, stop. All right, guys, could he write it on his sleeve? Moving on to the next project, but there is her little love hearts on her little dress. Oh, I love it. Okay, have a lovely day. I hope you get some stitching done, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.